July 12th, 2018. That's where Kato Thorne's time machine is currently set to, and that is our target destination for today's video. I want to show you what Chapter 1, Season 5 was really like. Now, before I set these coordinates to our destination, I want you to understand something. We cannot change the events of what happened in the past. We can only observe them. We're watchers of the past. But what I want you to take from this, outside of a huge nostalgia trip, is what the game felt like, sounded like, looked like at this time, and also what my friends and I were talking about as players of this game. It also might give us a little glimpse as to what Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 5 might look like. So, if you're ready, let's take a little trip into the past of Fortnite and see what Chapter 1 Season 5 really looked like. July 14th, 2018. How I miss these days. The game was so much more simple back then. What you're going to notice in a lot of these clips is I'm wandering around the outskirts a lot. I didn't push a lot of fights back in these days. Some people did, but a lot of us didn't because we really weren't that confident in our abilities. This is one of the things that I miss about OG Fortnite the most, was just being able to walk around and explore. That's the element of Fortnite in the modern day that I think is missed quite a bit. It's just the exploration aspect. There's a few things that I want you to notice as you're watching these clips. Number one, as you watch the gameplay, I want you to understand that we can never go back to this. Even if we use Kato Thorne's time machine to travel back in time to the Chapter 1 map, we could never go back to this playstyle because everyone was so bad at this time. The skill gap has increased so much. Players are so good now. All you're going to have is a bunch of modern players on an old map. So, do not have your expectations too high when it comes to the overall gameplay style. Where you should be curious about the gameplay is more in the loot pool and the mechanics, which is the second thing I want you to pay attention to here. Look at my loadout. I've got a blue burst, a gray tac, and purple dualies. I felt like back in these days we were a lot more experimental with our loadout just because we didn't know what guns were good or what we liked. And since the meta was constantly changing on a brand new game, we could never really get comfortable, which is what made it exciting. Fortnite always felt like something different back in these days. Finally, I want you to pay attention to some of the damage that we get with the guns in these clips. Like, it's unreal. Shotguns definitely were doing a lot more damage at this time at a lot longer range. The blue burst was absolutely broken. I think it did 72 headshot damage per shot, so it was actually more powerful than a scar if you could actually hit all 3 shots, which was very rare. For purple dualies is insane. Supply drops didn't even pop up on the map. You just hoped to find them out in the wilderness, and you got excited if you did. Now, slurp juices only restored 50 health if I remember correctly, and I'm gonna need it right here because this tryhard is hitting me with grenade launcher shots on the other side of the hill somehow. It's crazy because I remember this game specifically. Like, I remember how it felt to build at this time. Building felt very clunky to me. It took me a couple of years to really get a good grasp of it, and even then I was never really like the craziest builder. I'm just shooting random shots. I don't even know honestly what I'm trying to do at this point. And that is why I miss the OG Blue Burst. It was such a fun time, man. Victory Royales actually felt like they meant a lot more than they do now. Let's travel to the future just a little bit. July 22nd, 2018. This was when me and my boy Terrence were playing a lot, and I think this is around the time we got our first duo dub. Look at the UI back then, bro. Look at the item shop. This was insane. Just very simple, just like a couple of skins. The people would freak if the item shop ever became this simple again. I don't know if I'd ever want to necessarily go back to this, but I'm wondering if Epic will put us on a little nostalgia trip and bring a simpler UI back for us. Lazy Links was one of the best drop spots in the game at the time. It was a fun POI. I missed the golf course, and Terrence and I, we used to like dropping here and clapping cheeks, man. It was a good time.
They're going to the house. I'm gonna go to the shacks on the other side of it.
Ooh, I want to get
There's
this gun on
two
this
teams here. There's 2 teams here. Don't do it, Clint.
Oh, no, already got it. Drop one.
God damn it!
Killed somebody. Drop somebody else.
Ah!
day that day.
You gotta be kidding me. That is such bullshit.
And as you can see, some things just never changed in Fortnite. We're still having problems with actually hitting shots. Let's travel a little bit further, getting towards the middle of the season. This is August 9th, 2018. If you'll notice, grenades still do 100 damage. That's one thing I'm really curious about is, if we go back to Season 5, are we gonna actually have the OG damage for all the weapons? Look at the loot, man. The P90 was new, the heavy shotgun was new, the drum gun was pretty new. Epic at this time was trying to figure out a way to counter building. And so they gave us a lot of spray weapons to kind of be able to shoot through people's boxes. As you can see here, my builds are getting a little bit smoother, but not like super crazy. But that damage, that headshot damage, man, was so clean. We didn't know how good we had it back in those days. I think this is also when I started playing a little bit more aggressive, because I'm starting to push a lot more fights. Like, look at this guy trying to land on me, and I'm going for him. Spike traps, man, campfires. I think at this time you can still hold 10 minis. Yeah, you can still hold 10, but I've only got 8 here. I always thought it was a mistake that we nerfed the amount of minis that a person could hold. I never saw a reason why we shouldn't be able to hold 10 minis. Pro strat here, hiding underneath the ramp and in a bush in the middle of the desert W. Now, quite frankly, I'm a little surprised at how I played this one out, because I honestly probably should have died here in this fight, but these guys weren't really paying attention too much. Back when Victory Royales really meant something, man. I miss getting dubs like this and getting so excited, just clipping it, but getting ready to share with all my friends, showing them what I had done for the day. It was wild. And 4 kills for me at the time, that was pretty wild. The last moment in time I want to take you to is towards the end of the season. This is September 24th, 2018. Now I want you to pay attention, because we're not actually playing the main BR in this clip. We are playing an LTM. We're playing Close Encounters. This was one of the most fun times to play because of what had happened to Loot Lake.
You probably want to land on the outskirts somewhere and can camp in a bush or some shit.
Somewhere that's not right in the middle of everybody.
Someone's in the house. Watch yourself.
Jippin'.
Oh, come on.
There's something else I want to make people very aware of. A lot of my friends started quitting the game at this time because it was perceived as too sweaty. The skill gap was increasing marginally, and people were just not happy with it. This is when you started seeing a lot of Fortnite is dead memes, and quite frankly, it wasn't true.
Stop picking the damn places.
I'd be fine if I could just find a gun. Any gun, really.
Notice how no one has shield either, like everyone's just running around out here with just white health. And pickaxes did only 10 damage, which is wild. Another thing to point out is that double pump had been nerfed by this point in time. I think it was actually fresh that we couldn't double pump with a pump and then attack shotgun. The only shotgun which you could ironically double pump with was the dub, and it was designed by Epic for that purpose, to kind of replace the feeling of being able to double pump.
Oh, there's so many people out here. This is crazy. You see this?
Gotta ruin that day.
Ah! Someone's here.
Well, this is where we die.
Just start.
This is where you die.
Now this is what made this period in time so exciting. Being able to jump and Loot Lake like it was a bounce castle. See, it's things like this that Fortnite is missing right now, right? These in-game live events that have an effect on the environment, that change up the dynamic of gameplay. Just imagine something like this happening now. You'll never see it. Like, it's cool that we have a time machine on the map and all that, but what about actually, like, changing up the terrain some kind of way and make it a new, like, objective or something to mess around with on the island?
Well, you know what time it is.
Also, look how much slower the fights are. That's one thing I'm hoping we do get. I want to make sure that we have the new mechanics on the old map. Give me the ability to swim, vault, jump, mantle, all of that. Keep all of that quality of life stuff in the game, but give me the old weapons back on the old island.
Oh, I'm down. I just took there.
Where?
I got you. Where's he at? Where's he at?
Dude, if he lets you get this red off,
He is. He is a dumbass. Clutch. Excuse me. He literally shot! Watch it! Got another one. Oh, I'm getting shot. Are you f***ing kidding me?
Dude, I had one shot. I had no life left.
Not you! Let's go, baby! Get the f*** off me!
You got another one.
Are you kidding me?
Leave man alone.
Oh my god, that timer! Get, oh my god, bro.
There's another one.
Yeah, I know! Hold on. Oh my god, I fell in my... Get off me! Who's the greatest?
Yeah, bro.
That's 7! Man, that timer, bro. That timer be
That
messing
was
me up.
nasty.
Oh
That timer
man.
needs to go the on somewhere.
It does. God, bro. Oh my
Like
god,
everybody has shotguns. Bring back the double pump or double shotgun.
That little conversation right there is what tells me that double pump in all aspects must have just been removed from the game. The timer that we're talking about is the little circle that pops up when you try to swap between shotguns, because at the time it was very new. And it was very awkward for a lot of us because we were so used to being able to use 2 shotguns for the last, well, few months. You know, looking at these OG clips has not only given me a sense of nostalgia, but it's made me really excited for the potential of Season 5. I think there's a lot of really cool things that Epic can pull from just by me looking at these old clips. However, I need to cut this trip short because the time machine is starting to run out of energy, and I need to make sure that I get back in time to go to TwitchCon. So until then, I guess we're just gonna have to leave it as is, but if I'm being honest with you guys, I'm a little concerned because I have a feeling that we may have had some kind of negative effect on the time stream. I know I said that we could only observe the timeline, but unfortunately, time travel can be a little weird, and I'm not entirely confident that that's the case. But I think the best thing we can do is cross our fingers and just try to get back to the future.